joining us today for another episode of What's Your Why Wednesday. Today, I am joined by the fabulous Diana Bajramovic. She is the Director of Marketing at MBS Highway. Diana, thank you so much for joining us. Now, we've known each other for, a couple of years now, I guess. And we really got to know each other during the NBA New Jersey Women's Committee. And I certainly have watched you grow and flourish and kind of spread your light across our industry. And today, I would really love to hear from you. Tell us a little bit about how professionally and personally, how does your why tie into what you do every single day?
Laura, it's been nice to learn from you over such a long period of time now, which I feel like is a long time. A couple of days feels like a long time now with what we do. But from you and all the other ladies that we've come to know, I've found out more about my why and why I truly believe in it. And I think I have two main different ones. So my professional why, working with the MBS Highway, such a phenomenal company that's taught me not just about how the economy works and how housing and mortgage works, but also how to service a client and how to really explain what's happening in the world and make our clients feel a lot better and give them a little bit of a better way to make more educated decisions. I think my professional why is always what our other customers need. So yes, we have our subscribers who are people like loan officers and real estate agents, but they also have their own clients. So I think overall, every day at MBS Highway, what we do is not only to help our subscribers close more deals, make people's lives better, but they also really have to advise their clients because it all trickles down to that in the end. So I think my personal why working here is really just helping the end client, the end consumer, because once that happens, then our subscribers benefit too. And I think that's the same for any business. The final consumer, we want to know what their goals and what their needs are, because if we can fulfill them, then we succeed from that, which is really good. And I think my personal why is a little bit different, especially because I'm on the younger, newer end of the industry and my professional career in general, which I'm pretty proud of and I'm happy about because I still get to learn a lot more. I have a lot of friends that did things a lot differently than me. I think of specifically my one friend. She lives in Boston and went to a phenomenal school for economics and other data science topics like that. And she got a really great job out of college. And then she's going for a new one now and she's doing really well. And then I have other friends that went to college for really good degrees, but then they didn't end up doing anything with them. And I think my why when it comes to my personal life is kind of helping people and making sure that they grow a little bit more at a faster rate than they would have if they don't see something like what we're doing here and how we're helping people. I like to hear from my friends and people that I know that are my age that what they're seeing me do is helping them succeed and helping them become a little bit more confident, because I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy for me either. Heck, it still isn't. I don't think it ever becomes easy getting out there, getting your message out, talking to people, because you want to make sure it's something that people want to hear. And I think that I've kind of not perfected it, but I'm trying to craft it better every single day. And when I hear friends and colleagues and peers say, okay, well, if she can do it, then I can, then I think that's what matters to me a lot.
Wow, I love that. And, twofold, right? So number one, yes, we work for an amazing company that is so important and valuable to our entire industry, right? And you are correct. There is a ripple effect with what you guys do for your clients. It then trickles down into the families in which everyone is serving. And especially, we see it, right? We see it that the minute the markets start to turn, the minute the economy starts to change, everyone is looking for that education. Everyone is looking for that support and that knowledge base. We saw it in 2020 when everything went haywire and it was like, okay, we need to know what's happening, right? And then again, we're seeing it now. There's so much uncertainty, and we know that if you turn on the news or you turn on anything, right? If you go on Twitter, if you go on anything, it's a lot of fear. It's a lot of anxiety because people are looking to sensationalize. At the end of the day, by you guys providing that value of accurate information, that they don't have to take it and add opinion to it. It's fact, it's guidance and education that they can relay. So absolutely, that certainly ties with your why as to what you look to do. And then on the other side, I certainly can appreciate, right? We all know how many times, right? You hear, well, if you don't know where you're going by 25 or by 30, well, then you're sunk, right? Like, give it up. Your whole rest of your life is over, right? Oh, we all know that that's not true. That's not true at all. And sure, maybe you think you've got it all figured out, and maybe you realize you don't, or vice versa. But, Diana, like I said, when we started this, I've watched you grow. I'm watching, every single time we come together, I see you just being more comfortable in your own skin and being educating others and really providing that value. So I'd love to hear from you now that you're a few years into this, right? And you are going through this metamorphosis every day of continuing to grow and get better. What would be your advice to others, right? If they were looking to come into the industry, or maybe they're here now and they're just kind of unsure as to how to progress, or are they in the right spot, or what should they be doing to make sure that wherever they are today, they're working towards the goal of what they want to be in the future. What's your advice? Because I think that's really valuable to hear from you.
So I think my advice might not resonate with everybody because I think a lot of people have a goal in mind of what they want to do, what they want to focus on, and they're only going to follow that, which is totally fine. I was just never one of those people. I never kind of found something that I was really passionate about and then went on with it. So for someone, if they're like me, that's kind of just seeing what they enjoy doing, what makes them successful and what makes them happy. I think that you just handle any work that you can. At first, for example, when I just started at MBS Highway, I mean, it's 5 years now, but it feels like I'm a year in.
Wow.
And I started in sales because my father actually was working for our CEO for like 10, 12 years. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. And we were all like, okay, fine, she'll do sales. And then that's it. But then it grew into just so much more. And I'm thankful for it every single day, of course. But I think that as long as you get your hands dirty with anything that you can, you're going to start to find things that you really like to do. And sometimes it gets kind of crazy. I always say I'm like a little Swiss Army knife here, where it's just kind of so much stuff, but it's actually enjoyable for me. Again, not everybody's like that. But I think if you can just find a little bit of a path that you want to go down, just keep doing more and more work there. Take on anything you can, especially in the beginning, because that's how you're really going to find what you want to do. I mean, I would never say no to any work that's given and needed, given to me or needed from me. So I think you just can kind of pick up anything you can and then follow along with which ones you enjoy.
That is so true. I always say, raise your hand, because when you raise your hand and you say, yes, I'll help with that, or I'll try that, you're getting experience in many different things. And no one can ever take that away from you, right? That's your experience. That's your knowledge base. Even if today you say, well, why do I really need to know something about servicing, right? I'm not involved. Well, guess what? You might find yourself in some conversation, or you may be asked to do something. All of a sudden, that knowledge about servicing all of a sudden comes up in that discussion or in that meeting where people are saying, wow, I had no idea that Diana was so well versed in servicing. Look at how great that is. So I agree with
Laura,
you.
it reminds me of that quote. What is it? A master of one or a master of many is the master of none. How does it go? Do you know that quote?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's an opposite side to it. I just can't remember the quote right now where it says, well, the master of just one task or one type of thing is, doesn't really know anything else about anything else.
Especially in the mortgage
So,
business. I mean,
yeah,
in the mortgage business, every single day, I like your Swiss Army knife, right?
yeah,
Because that Swiss Army knife is such a good analogy. And you never know when you have to change the knife. All
right,
of a sudden you're a screwdriver. The next minute, you don't know what you're going to need today.
right,
So get yourself in the room, raise your hand, be a sponge, learn as much as possible. But to your point, and then you're going to learn the things you really love.
right,
Maybe you're like, servicing's not for me. I'll stay away from servicing. That's not my thing. But then all of a sudden you find out that marketing, you just light up, and marketing is what you love. And then you can say, you know what, I'm going to learn a little bit more about marketing.
right,
So I think that's wonderful. But at the end of the day, knowing your why, your professional and your personal, putting that together with what you do with your passion, that's where it doesn't feel like work. That's where it actually, all of a sudden, it's aligning. And that's wonderful. All right, Diana, you are amazing. We thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your why with all of us. Keep crushing it out there. And we wish you all the best always.
Thank you, Laura.